Hi, my name is Luigi Gonzalez, and my husband loves my husband's lover.
Hi, I'm Vid Harper, and I love my husband's lover.
Okay.
We have a very interesting story.
Yes. We, as a couple...
We met Kuh Ledesma. I'm sorry, I had to say it. So basically the story is I was at work listening to Kuh on Spotify, and Spotify alerts when there's an upcoming concert. And I saw it and I was like, oh, she's probably doing something in the Philippines. And then it said Reno, Nevada. And I was like, Reno, Nevada? I could do Reno, Nevada. So I think I literally just texted you and said, we're going to Reno.
Yes.
It wasn't the easiest to get there because it was a holiday weekend. So it's an 8-hour drive. I ended up getting a speeding ticket. That was a $500 oopsie. How much is $500 in the Filipino peso? Hold on, let me Google it. 500 USD to Philippine pesos. 27,694.
Don't speed in America.
Yeah, that was a oopsies. So 8-hour drive, really expensive speeding ticket. Then we had to stay overnight. The prices for the hotel were more expensive than normal, but it was all worth it to see Kuh Ledesma. And then, spoiler alert, at the very end of the concert, she announces, next month I will be doing a concert in Pasadena, California. For those of you who don't know, Pasadena, California is about a 15-minute drive from where we live.
Yeah. No, but I feel it was worth it. Like, on the way.
It was worth it.
It was worth it. On the way, we stopped by the Airbnb that looks like a giant lemon.
That was cool.
Yeah. And we went to Bodie, California.
That was cool and scary. Bodie is this ghost town.
But that's not why it's scary.
It's because it's an unpaved road on the side of a very high cliff. Mm-hmm. So driving there, it's scary. I lost a hubcap driving there. But the Kuh concert.
Okay, so it was not just her. It was her and Nonoy Zuniga, who I only know by name. So when we got there, we didn't know about his leg.
Yes, he lost his leg in the Sofitel bombing in the 80s.
Yes.
Which, I didn't know this, but we actually stayed one night at the Sofitel when we were in the Philippines.
Yes, for our wedding.
Yeah. I didn't know that there was an attack there. Not that it would have made a difference.
Yeah, so we didn't know about his leg. So the concert starts and he opens it, and he opens it with Pure Imagination from Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. The music starts, he starts singing, people start clapping, we don't see him.
We're looking at each other like, where is he?
Like, he's in the room, and the applause are coming from like the right side of the hall. And then here he comes slowly on a, what is it, like a people mover?
It's a motor scooter.
Like a little motor scooter. And he's singing, he's on wheels, he's slowly making his way to the stage, and I love my people. I love us and our pageantry. He gets to the stage, and his like poor assistant, who, by the way, she's like what, in her 40s, late 40s. She's wearing a halter top and a leather miniskirt. Fabulous woman. As he gets up on stage, she gets on the motor scooter and zooms down the aisle.
I don't think she had ever ridden this thing before, so she was not aware of the power. So she presses basically the gas and she takes off. She goes, ah! In the middle of the concert.
And then, yeah, so he has this moment, and then Kuh comes out like in her floor-length ball gown, thank you.
Singing Celine Dion.
I'm alive.
It's just called Alive.
Alive. I want to point out, my husband, not the only white man present. The other women brought their husbands, but he was the only white fan. I also want to point out, take of this what you will, a lot of white men in the audience, no white women.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
You got a little angry at the concert because the people behind us were talking about me in Tagalog.
Yeah.
And I'm not fluent in Tagalog.
For those of you who don't know, my husband is very tall. And they were bitching that they couldn't see the stage. And yeah, and then like they they wanted to move. They just kept talking about the large white man in front of them,
Which upset him when he told me about it the next day, because he was pretty angry for some reason. I personally did not find it offensive or anything. I'd be like, well, I'd be bitching if I couldn't see in front of me either. You know, they were just talking about it. It's fine. I know I'm tall. I wish they would have said something to me. I would have worked with them. That has happened a lot at concerts where like people will touch my shoulder and they'll be like, I can't see. And I'm okay, well, I'll work around this. I'm aware of my height. But he was just angry, I guess, that they were talking about me like I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like they were talking about me knowing I didn't understand them. What I found humorous about that, though, is as if the Filipino I came with didn't understand what they were saying. If they were talking in Tagalog so that I wouldn't understand, wouldn't it run through their mind that I'm with someone who is Filipino, which means they're going to understand?
No, I think like the assumption was because I'm with a white man, I am Filipino American, and so a Filipino American as young as I would not know the mother tongue, which is a sad truth.
I have to point out the highlight of the concert, though. She sang the theme to My Husband's Lover.
Well, no, when the music started, you went like, yes!
No, I knew that she was going to sing this song because of what she was talking about before. She was talking about how relationships can hit snags and fighting for a relationship. And I turned to Luigi and I was like, she's going to sing the song. She's going to sing one more try. And then she starts the song. I lose it.
Yeah. Also, like, I do want to point out Ms. Ledesma, her message, her theming in the concert is a little inconsistent.
Well, we found out this is not a negative thing. I am not saying this in a negative way.
Not a dig. It's just I just want to point it out.
She's a born again Christian, which I guess is a little unusual for Filipinos because most Filipinos are Catholic.
And the thing with born again Christians is that wives are told to be subservient to their husbands.
Apparently.
Or
at least that's what she said.
Yeah.
She went on a long rant about that.
Yeah. I feel like she herself is trying to grapple with that concept because she is a fabulous woman that does not need a man. Like, I am sorry, I don't think a born-again Christian male can handle a woman with that fire.
Yeah, she definitely had a lot of spark in her. So it was interesting to see, you know, like this is a woman who is very obviously in charge of her own life, but she's talking about being submissive.
And then she ends the concert with
the Miley Cyrus song, Flowers.
Yeah, I can buy myself flowers. So, like, the messaging is a little mixed.
Nonetheless, it was a fabulous concert.
Yes.
It was worth the drive, the speeding ticket, the very expensive hotel.
Yes. We did manage to, by sheer... because Filipinos are so hospitable, we, the two of us, who were denied a meet and greet, managed to finagle a meet and greet.
Well, here's the thing. I actually called the venue and asked if there was a meet and greet option, and they said no. But then when we got there, the pamphlet that they handed out to us mentioned the VIP badge, and that was oddly enough cheaper than the ticket we paid for. So after the concert, I very nicely went up to an employee and I said, I called in advance and they said there was no meet and greet, but it says on this pamphlet that there is, and somehow it's cheaper than the ticket I paid for. And the employee said, I don't know what to tell you, but the event coordinator's over there. And he points to this guy and he goes, if you want to go talk to him. So I don't know where I got the gall, because I am usually the type of person that's like, I don't want to disturb anyone. I don't want to make waves. But I was like, yes. So I walk over to the guy and I explain my story, and he was very nice. And he goes, oh, yeah, I don't know how that happened, but just get in line, tell them my name, and yeah, you're good. So we did.
We did?
The meet and greet was very quick. I got to tell them, I got to say I'm a big fan. We got a nice photo. There was a professional photo, and then this is weird. No one knew where those professional photos were going. Like, what was the website? How do you get them? So this concert was a while ago, and to this day, we do not have those photos. If anybody went to this show listening, if you went through the meet and greet, can you just tell us where the photos are? Because we just have one that was taken off my phone, and it's at an angle, and it's just a phone photo. It would be nice to have the professional photo. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, long story short, met Kuh Ledesma.
Yeah.
So, should we get into the episode?
Yes, let us get into it. Oh, and if you're following along
on YouTube, it's episode 3, and it starts around the 8-minute mark and ends around the 35-minute mark. If you're following on the DVD, it's disc 1, chapter 4. Okay, let's get into this episode. The episode opens up with Vince and Eric at the beach saying goodbye. Dissolved to Vince sitting on the toilet, still on the toilet another episode later.
His throne.
Still looking at the photo. His concentration is interrupted by the phone ringing. It's a call informing him and Lolly that Evelyn went into labor. Vince and Lolly go to the hospital where they meet Evelyn's new baby that she has named
Sandra. How about that?
The only positive I can say about that is if she's named after her mother, there isn't a lot to live up to. On the drive home from the hospital, Lolly sulks about her mom. Vince makes a vow to be a better husband.
Stemming from his guilt at having knocked her up. She had to get married to him, which caused friction with Sandra. Sandra's now gone.
So he jokes that she should pop the kid out now so he can be a better husband sooner.
Which, stems from the internalized homophobia. The implication here being that once the kid is out, he has to be straight. Better man means straight in this context.
In the next scene, Lolly and Evelyn hit the streets looking for Sandra.
And they're passing out these Xerox flyers of Sharpie, missing Sandra. What's her last name?
Pain in my ass.
What is that, Polish?
While they're passing out flyers, Evelyn compares her relationship to Lolly's. In her eyes, Lolly has the perfect relationship. Vince communicates with her, while Kuya Manny is too manly to communicate. Is that toxic masculinity crap?
Yeah, you complain about how little I communicate sometimes. It's a Filipino quality. Men are taught to, actually everyone is taught to suppress their feelings.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Men in particular don't even talk about their feelings in secret. The thing that Evelyn says specifically in regards to that is he's not a talker. And if he does, it's joking. And that's a thing that my dad does too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone knows my feelings. I don't suppress my emotions. Yeah. If I'm having a bad day, you're going to have a bad day.
Yes.
No, that's not true. Don't agree with that. That's not true.
It's true. If I'm having a good day, do I try to make your day better?
No.
So we're even.
Yes, because if I'm having a good day, I'm going to make your day good too.
If I'm having a bad day, I do not want to burden anyone with my bad day.
Which is really annoying. It's like, will you just tell me what's wrong? You're not good at hiding it, so I know something's wrong. Will you just tell me what's eating you?
Can't I just hide under this blanket until I fart it out?
Okay. On that note, Evelyn points out that at least Lolly and Vince are married because Evelyn's not married to Kuya Manny. Now, I think he was already married and divorce doesn't exist in the Philippines, so there's nothing they can do about that. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Kuya Manny is not someone that you want to end up with. He is a bit of a dud, or he is a scrub, as we would say. But him not marrying her is not one of the reasons. To the best of my knowledge, I'm fairly certain he already had a wife.
Also, specifically, Evelyn says that Lally is lucky that Vince stepped up to marry her. And Lally points out that Vince won't leave her like Dad left Mom.
Typical Lolly, might I add. Clearly, Evelyn is having issues with her relationship, and Lolly's like, mine's really good.
and we were watching on the DVD, which didn't have subtitles. I distinctly remember that scene ending with Evelyn saying, like, stop it, you're making me jealous.
Don't worry, she'll get her moment. Because the next scene, Vince stops by Eric's old house. A boy working on the property says he just moved in with his grandma and doesn't know anyone named Eric.
As he leaves, the face that he makes when he realizes that Eric is not there. It's the same face that a puppy makes when you nudge it out of your way. Like, that's the face he makes.
Aww.
Yeah.
In the next scene, Vince is having drinks with Dave. They talk about Eric, and Dave says he doesn't understand why Vince is dragging up the past. Mm-hmm. If you're going to be straight, why did you even go to the house? If he's back, are you going to get back with him?
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like, why does this matter? Like, if he is in Manila, are you going to drop your relationship with the woman you knocked up?
Yeah. No, Dave ain't wrong. He's going to be a dad soon. You have literally altered the population of Earth. You're going to have to make sacrifices. What do you want me to say?
There is no turning back from that. And your life as you knew it is over. This is now your life. Your life is coming home to a wife, her making dinner for you.
But Dave says regardless, he can be Vince's shock absorber. At home, Lolly is asleep on the couch.
She fell asleep reading to a Reader's Digest. I just have to point that out. I like to believe, knowing what I know about Tom Rodriguez, that Reader's Digest is his. Like the actor, not the character. Like the Reader's Digest, like I believe it's about like opening the mind and stuff.
That's right, because you met Tom Rodriguez once and he was very intellectual.
He's brainy.
Yeah.
Brainy, that guy.
Anyways, Vince walks in and Elaine gives him the 3rd degree. She's assuming he was out womanizing just like his father. And in a rare moment, she defends Lolly.
She doesn't really defend her. She says, like, in English, she says, I pity her.
And she goes on to say, I may not like her yet, but you treat her better. I'm a woman too, and I know how it feels. So Lolly wakes up. And Vince lays it on thick by talking to the baby in her belly. Through voiceover, Lolly says, if only Mom were here to see how well he treats me. Cut to airport. Eric is back.
Looking very queenie, by the way.
Well, he spent years in America. He's able to be his true self. We talked about this. Next scene, Lolly's having an ultrasound. All is well with the baby, but it's too soon to tell the gender. Vince wants a girl so he can spoil her. Lolly wants a boy so she can be loved. Do we unpack that? I'm going to have a little sip of beverage for this one.
In her defense, she says she saw it on TV. Like someone said it on TV. However, so I'm not sure if this is a universal thing. I do know that this is a Filipino thing. Dads want girls because daddy's girls. And moms want boys because the boys are very affectionate to their mothers.
I'm not saying that ideology doesn't exist in America. It definitely does, but I don't think it's a given.
I don't know. Well, you've seen me with my mother. I will say one thing. My dad, mama's boy.
Would you call me a mama's boy?
No.
What are you talking about? Yeah. We're gonna go on a little sidebar here because I have to defend myself. My mom lives in a retirement community, and she is the envy of the other women there because her son visits her constantly. I am her son. I visit her constantly. Oh, and before anyone says anything, because I hear this all the time, and it's actually something that really gets on my nerves. They say it's a cultural thing in America to have old people go to a retirement home, and in other countries they live with the family. And that is true, but they word it like I have thrown my mother out and put her in a retirement community. Let's just be clear. It is a two-way street. I don't want my mom living with me. My mom would rather swallow glass than live with me. This was her choice. So yes, it is a cultural thing, but it is not the young throwing away the old always. Very often it's, I don't want to live with my kids. I spent 18, 19, 20 years trying to get them out of the house.
Yeah. Her apartment is fabulous.
It is a nice apartment. If I can afford it, I can't wait till I end up in a place like this. This is goals. Yeah. It's like, wait a minute. I have my own place, but there's staff. And if I don't feel like cooking, I could just go downstairs and there's a cafeteria. Anyways. Moving on.
Yeah, so because they're like, I want a girl, I want a boy. And then the doctor's like, and by the way, put a pin on the doctor. The doctor's like, I'm sure both of you will love the child no matter what gender it is. And he says, like, in a very like soap opera way.
Vince.
Yeah. That yes, I'll love the baby no matter what gender it is. The pin on the doctor. This is not what is always done in the industry, but I've known of instances where it's happened. That is not an extra. That is most likely an actual doctor.
Really?
Not every extra is going to know like how to use the ultrasound. So that's most likely a doctor who like, okay, I'm gonna get to be on TV.
Wow.
Yeah, and they probably like went down the list of like, who is the prettiest one? Who's the prettiest one in staff? And then approach her. And then if she says yes, like, okay, yes, you're
Oh, yeah. Interesting. Next scene, Eric returns home where he spots his Yaya with one of those weird stick broom things.
You love the stick broom thing.
It's like a bunch of sticks tied together. What are they called?
Walis ting ting. Mm-hmm. Walis meaning broom. Ting ting, I think, is the little sticks. Yeah, so she has that in a dustpan, in the plastic dustpan that like whenever I see it, it just takes me back to my childhood.
Oh, we should point out if there's any English speakers who don't speak any sort of Filipino, Yaya means nanny.
Yes.
But in the Philippines, and this was very jarring for me, they refer to them as Yaya. Which is not something we would do here. We would not say nanny. In fact, there's a movie called The Nanny Diaries where someone does that and it's portrayed as very degrading and dehumanizing. Anyways.
So yes, she tells him like, oh, you look so good. And he's like, well, you're still pretty underneath those wrinkles.
You know, for a very hospitable culture, I've noticed the Filipinos are brutal when it comes to seeing people that they haven't seen in a while.
Yeah, like put a pin on that because we're talking about that later. So
okay. So
Yaya here is played by the fabulous veteran comedian Flora Gasser. So yeah, she has been working since the 80s. She is no longer with us. She passed away. Yeah, she passed away in 2022. Gasser is not a Filipino last name. She married a very famous I'm glad you're seated. Wait until you hear her husband's name. So she married famous newscaster Harry Gasser.
You're killing me.
I know.
I can't do this.
So Harry Gasser is one of the most prestigious. Harry Gasser is one of the. Can you let me finish?
I'm trying.
Harry Gasser is the most.
Okay.
So Harry Gasser is one of the most prestigious names in journalism. He, during the Marcos administration, was like the guy in English speaking newscasting. Very illustrious career, very respected journalist. Marries a comedic actress. I saw this on a one of those like MMK Magpakailanman type shows.
We will talk about those
they're
shows later on.
Dramatizing her real life. He cheated on her and she stayed with him, and as herself makes an appearance in the scene. She walks in the scene and talks to the camera and tells the audience I I still stayed with him because like I didn't know what to do. Like I needed him.
Harry Gasser, how could you?
And then he also had a drinking problem. He was fired from RPN for getting something wrong on the news, and he says it was because he came to work drunk. And he eventually found another job at another station, but like I believe, if I'm reading between the lines, because like they never really say it, if I'm reading between the lines, she became the breadwinner of the family because he was no longer working, and like she worked until he passed away in 2014.
Oh,
and she like was still working till the 2020s.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Next scene, Vince shows his parents and Lolly the location for his planned business.
An auto showroom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Armando gives Vince a large loan.
Mm-hmm. And they do it in like the most like, and I get that this is on theme, but like that just boils my blood. Like a gentleman's agreement, and it's done like in the manliest way possible, like the handshake with the squeeze and the pull. Ugh.
Back at Eric's house, Eric and his Yaya continue to catch up. This is where we learn that the boy Vince talked to the other day is the Yaya's grandson.
Jackson is his name.
Back at the location for Vince's new business, surprise, surprise, Lolly is sulking.
I will say though, like Carla Abellana, really good sulking face. Like she does, like.
Oh yeah, no, this is no shade to Carla.
Yeah.
This is again. I am picking on the character, not the actress. Her reason behind sulking this time is because she can't financially contribute to the business. She feels embarrassed that his dad loaned him money just so he can support them.
Yeah, you didn't have to make that detour. like you saw in front of your very eyes that the dad was the one who offered the loan. This moment is not about you, Lolly.
Vince assures her that being the mother of his child is more than enough because he's the man of the house.
Yeah. Oh God. I am sorry. This is like, and not necessarily. I'm not necessarily talking about my family, but this is shit I grew up around. So like, hearing people talking about like, yeah, no, because I am the man of the family. I'm the man of the family. Like, dude, you're like. You have perfectly capable sisters who can like shoulder the brunt for you. Like the burden is not your own.
Back at Eric's house, he's still catching up with Yaya. We get some exposition.
Yeah, this is where you find out that like the mom is still in the States, dad's still in a coma, I think. I think
he died.
Oh, he died. Okay, yeah. So he came home first.
Eric is now an architect and plans to start a local business. In the middle of this conversation, the grandson realizes the guy who stopped by the other day must have been looking for Eric, but he didn't get a name. So Eric's like, who stopped by to see me? Who could it be? Who could it be?
I mean, deep down, he knows.
He knows.
Yeah.
Later on, Eric meets his friend Danny.
And right at like on site, like, hi, hello, what's up, fat ass?
What does he actually say?
So first Danny says, you look so good. I like you, like you've clearly been working on your body. And then Eric says, yeah, what about you? What happened?
So I'm guessing this is where you want to take the pin out about what I said earlier.
So yeah, like
what is with Filipino culture and being just so brutal when seeing someone? I noticed it when I was in the Philippines. No one dared do it to me.
Well, no. Here's the thing. It's because it's the first time they're seeing you. I feel like if when we go back, you might get some like comments, but I feel like, so here's the thing. I could be wrong, but I think the logic here is like a way for them to say, I haven't seen you in a while. You look different. So they do that, but it's the whole scene for Danny at least becomes about like a lot of like fat jokes. Like the waiter comes and like, what do you want to get? And he's like, I want a chocolate decadent cake. And then like, Never mind. No, I'll just get water.
I'm bottoming later. No, well, the thing that I find really frustrating about that, particularly in this scene, is Danny is not even overweight.
He's not jacked, but he's not fat.
I am a large person. If I lost 100 pounds, I would still be heavier than him. And if anyone in the Philippines dared make a jab about it, I would sit on them. I am twice the height and twice the weight. Don't mess with me. Have you ever seen that Far Side poster where the woman's putting up lost dog posters and the dog is stuck in her butt? That's going to be you if you make a comment about my weight.
It's Eric, you look so jacked. Danny, you f***ing cow. What have you been doing all these years other than eat?
Yeah.
No, I feel like the only way to win in this situation would be like to come back jacked.
I would just hit lower. Like, yeah, I'm going to get around to losing the weight. I see you haven't gotten around to fixing that nose. Or something. Nothing wrong with Dennis Trillo's nose. That was just an example of what I would say to someone. Or you're like, oh, I see the Philippines still hasn't gotten Botox. Anyways, let's move on. Lolly's back at home and she's mastered cooking. While cooking, she asks the maid about Vince's past. The maid says Lolly is the first girl Vince has ever brought home. Red flag.
Yeah. He would have made dumber choices when he was younger, like bringing someone home, even though they don't meet the parent standard.
Well, no, here's the reason why it's a red flag for me. Vince is hot. Like, he is really attractive. Like, someone that attractive does not go 19 years without having at least one or two relationships under their belt. It's just, it doesn't happen. Pretty people attract people. It's just life.
Yeah.
Anyways, back at the restaurant, Eric asks Danny to help him find Vince. Danny's uncle is in the military. Vince's father is in the military. So, like, use your connections. Danny knows about their past.
Yeah. They cut out before the call was made. But I want to imagine that, like, Danny gets his uncle, who's like a general in the military, on the phone and just goes, Tito. when the uncle picks up, like, Tito. Because I've seen that, and like the most effeminate of my friends are like the best at flipping the switch.
I mean, I think that's a universal thing, like maybe not to that degree, but even in America, like when you're around your family, you tone it down a little.
Yeah.
The next scene, Vince is giving Lolly a back rub. This is where we learn, because if you remember in the last episode, we were trying to figure out what the photo was that he had on his bedside where he hid the photo of Eric. It's just a photo of Vince.
Because that's something normal people do.
Yeah. Who the hell has a photo of themselves? It's not like a group photo. It's not even like it's a graduation photo or like a photo of his something of his accomplishment.
It wasn't even a studio photo.
It was just like a photo of himself.
Yeah.
It was just like, I was like, okay. Here's the thing though. Reading between the lines, inside is a photo of Eric. That's their photo together.
No, I thought of that too. Like that's why the photo is there. To like he really wants the photo of him and Eric by his bedside, but he can't, and now he has to look for like a decoy photo.
Oh, and it's so it really is them together.
Yeah.
Oh, it's anywho. In this scene, Lolly asks where the picture of Eric went. Vince says he doesn't know.
Blames it on the maids again.
She's like, maybe the maid just put it somewhere else.
I do have this thing like against people who do that, because like that's what a way to dehumanize the people who work for you.
Yeah.
Don't blame them for everything. Don't even blame them for anything. Like they should be the last people, but also you are in the room most often. You probably misplaced it.
Mm-hmm. Next, outside, Eric shows up to Vince's doorstep, rings the bell. The guard answers. Eric asks if Vince is there. The guard asks, Who should I say is asking?
Credits. Yeah. Now comes my favorite part of the episode. This husband loves. So this husband loves the introduction of veteran comedian Flora Gasser. I mean, she's not really pivotal to the story at all. I do love it when people like her appear, like these, I would say, journeyman actors. They are supporting actors. They are there to make the other actors look good. But she, in doing so, has never herself looked bad. Mm-hmm. So great woman, funny woman, and as is the trend with Filipino comedians, the funnier the person, the sadder the life.
Yeah. This husband loves that Vince finally got off the toilet. No, this husband loves that Eric hid the photo behind a photo of himself. As weird as that looks, it's so sweet.
Yeah. On the other side of the coin, this husband hates all the body shaming in this episode. This was a very body shamey episode, and all of it to make Eric look good, but like he's kind of a bitch. Like, hi, you look so good, even though you've raisined. Hi, Danny. What, took a break from eating all those chips, huh? And say hi to me.
This husband hates. What did I hate from this episode? I mean, I think the thing that I hate about this episode was for so much that happened, there was so little drama. There was nothing gripping about this episode. Now, I understand for a daily serial, not every episode can be a winner, but it's interesting that the first episode we've watched that was not gripping was an episode that had a birth and a return of the lover.
Yeah.
You would think that that's an episode that's going to stick out in your head, and nothing really happened. Evelyn had the baby off screen, for God's sakes. I mean,
oh yeah.
Like one of the cliffhangers of last episode was her going into labor in the middle of the accident. And then it's just like, Vince is on the toilet and he gets the phone call.
What solution are you proposing? Like,
I definitely think that Evelyn giving birth should have had more drama in some way, shape, or form. Like, because of the accident, they couldn't get to the hospital in time or something. She had to give birth in the back of a car, like, getting her to the hospital or something, anything. They could call Lolly and like it's happening while they're on the phone.
Yeah.
They rush to the hospital, but or like they rush to the scene of the accident, and that's where they have the baby, because they can't get out of that accident, because that was the problem. The cars couldn't move.
Yeah.
So she probably had to give birth in the traffic jam, and they drive as close as they can, and then they just run.
Yeah.
And then the whole scene happens that happened in the hospital would happen in the traffic jam. That would be more interesting.
Yeah. They probably didn't want to take up more time on the street.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand.
Because it was an actual street.
But again, then they have to find a way to make more drama.
Yeah.
That's what happens. And then I don't know, Eric coming back is such a slow burn. It could have been they could have done something coincidentally, wherever Vince and Lolly were, Eric was there. And they were just on other sides of the restaurant or something for tension.
Oh, yeah. Something that's in any other context would be contrived, but it's not, because it's a soap.
Well, Vince and Lolly are, talking about their future. On the other side of the restaurant, Eric is with Danny trying to find Vince. That's a good way to have drama. I don't know. This episode was not a winner for me, but it's, again, I understand. You got 90 something episodes. Not every episode can be a winner.
Okay.
So that's it for this episode.
Yeah. And so next episode,
will this one be a winner?
What happens with the security guard? Stay tuned. And babe?
Paalam po.